Wait till the trailer drops. Every furry will explode. Literally explode.
A few moments later.
Zootopia are anthropomorphic. That is just a big fancy word that means they walk around on 2 feet. They do not go to work nude. Thank you.
Called it! Right, so the trailer for the greatest movie ever made just dropped a few weeks ago, and every furry ever is excited to see it. I feel sorry if you don't follow any furries on Twitter, cause that was the best day ever. Seriously, you don't know what you're missing till you see everyone make a gif of that little fox hop. So much happy. Well, enough of that. Let's talk about a depressed gay wolf driving himself insane with absence. Yeah, no real segue here. I just wanted to talk about Zootopia for a few seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, my name is David Popovich, aka the Bookworm, and welcome to Bookworm Reviews. Sit back and relax as we dive into Green Fairy, Book 1 of the Dangerous Spirits by Kyle Gold. So this story is a little bit convoluted, but hear me out. The story follows Sol, your typical high school senior with a loving family and a starting position on the school's baseball team. That is until a few months ago when Sol discovered he is gay. No one knows about it, but it has made Sol a little more isolated. Midland isn't known to be too accepting. His only way to express and share who he is on gay forums, where he meets his boyfriend Carsey, his 4-hour away, different species, secret boyfriend. Sol can't wait to be with Carsey. He's the only one who gets him. He's his only chance to be free. And he has that chance because his father plans to give him a car for his 18th birthday at the end of the school year. He just has to survive 3 more months of high school, then he can drive off to Melonport to be with Carsey and live happily ever after. But Sol's isolationism starts to take its toll. After an embarrassing shower incident, everyone at school bullies Sol for most likely being gay, which has made him focus less on baseball, which makes him lose his starting position. And to appeal more to Carsey, Sol decides to become a vegetarian. Sol is a wolf. A wolf giving up meat. Athletic failure and rejection of cultural heritage all in one night? Did you hope Daddy Dearest would have a heart attack and spare you the punishment? When he breaks the news to his more than overbearing father, he threatens Sol will not get his car unless he can get his starting position back in 1 month. But that is not all. Green Fairy isn't just one story, but 2. Sol is working on an art project with his cynical friend Meg about Van Gogh. Van Gogh? Whatever, I'm not going to argue semantics. Which leads to Sol finding the book The Confessions of Jadid for research. But really it's cause it's about a gay this thing finding love. My story is a love story. A story that could be told between farmer and flower girl. Between landowner and minister. That it was told between a senator's son and a common dancer is incidental to the heart of it, and to the tragic turn it took. Jean is a senator's son who lost his partner in crime because it's 1901 France. Not a very liberating time. To compensate, his friend takes him to the infamous Moulin Rouge, where he meets the dancing fox girl, Nikki. But when Jean gets a closer look, he discovers she is a he, and why is this sounding familiar? Oh. After the encounter, Jean decides that he wants Nikki for himself. I want him, I told Theory, once my tongue was working again. I must have him. What can I do? But along with all that, back with Sol, Meg has just gotten her hands, on a bottle of absinthe, which they drink so they can experience what the artist did back in the day. People had incredible visions on it. They wrote them down. It happened all the time. But when Sol sleeps that night, he has a dream that he is Nikki from the book. But when he wakes up, he discovers nowhere did the book switch points of view that he could see. Plus, the more he thought about it, the more the events felt less like an engrossing book, and more as though he himself had experienced them. And when he starts to bring things back from the dream...
Get on with it! Yes, get on with it!
Saul is gay, has an overbearing father, might not be able to be with his online boyfriend, reads a gay book for an art project, drinks some absinthe, starts to have hallucinations about said book, and believes he is going crazy as he keeps isolating himself more and more from his family and friends. Okay? Ah! Okay, I know that is a lot to digest. It might even make you think that the book is convoluted, juggling all those different plot lines and characters. But Green Fairy does a fantastic job balancing out all of its different story elements. The story is actually very streamlined as you see how all the pieces fit together. You are never confused about who is doing what or why. It's simply a well-balanced book. It is also super depressing. The book really sticks out from most of Kyle Gold's other works because of two factors. The first is that unlike all of his previous works, there is no erotic content, aka there are no graphic sex scenes, which has been a staple for every Kyle Gold book ever. The other is that in most of his other romance stories, the main character has had someone to support him. In Waterways, Tori had Samaki. Out of Position, Dev had Lee. In Green Fairy, Soul has no one. His boyfriend is online, his only friend gives him no emotional support, he can't go to his parents, his teammates won't support him, no one can know he's gay. Soul is alone. All he could do is wrap himself in a warm cloak of dreams about the future. This seems like it was a challenge Gold put on himself. Can he write a story with no erotica with a more depressing overtone? Yes! Kyle's writing gives you the full experience of what it means to be isolated, and you can't help but wish the best for Soul, to try to get back on the starting position, so he can get that car, to be with his boyfriend, and live happily ever after. But it won't be easy since the guy who took it, Tarek, is very good. But good thing we don't have to count on that weak sauce no more. Has a case of douche-itis. He's just a prick. His friends are hinky. They're yokes. Xavier shoved the wolf who said that. Don't be an ass. They aren't all like that. Okay, that's something you don't see too often in furry lit. Racism. You see that a bit in Gold's early work, but this is the first time I've seen a book featuring very explicit contemporary racism. It's really goddamn fascinating. It doesn't really add anything to the main story or change throughout, but it just adds to the small town atmosphere Soul has to grow up in. Them yolks from the trailers, when they see an opportunity, they grab after it with both paws. Don't have packs to consider. Barely got families at all. You just be thankful you got a good family. But really what the book is about is what all of Gold's books are about. Love. Which is why Saul is attracted to Jean's story. The confession of Jean and the hallucination dreams of Nikki provide Saul with a parallel to what is going on in his life. And in doing so, makes him doubt whether his relationship with Carsey really is love. He thought Carsey felt about him the way Jean had written about Nikki. At least, that's what the Ram had said to him in the past. The dreams show Saul a side that contradicts what Jean talks about. Why had he had that dream in which the bright, wonderful world Jean had written about was sordid and sad? Jean paints his story as a rich man finding love and giving a low life freedom from the life of dancing if he wanted it. I promised him a life of luxury. Basically Pretty Woman, which Nikki does find alluring, but Nikki doesn't love Jean. He only sees him as a chance to get out, but maybe trading him more than he wants, since Jean's idea of love is basically Christian Grey with all of his shades. You are not of his world, Nikolai. If you attempt to enter it, it will spit you back to the gutter. All of which brings up the question of what does Saul really want? What are his dreams? He's never been able to do anything he really likes outside what his father wants. He believes going to Carsey will give him all he could want to free himself. But will it give him his happily ever after, or suffer a tragic fate? All love is fake. It's insecurity. It's an act we put on because we're afraid of being alone. Green Fairy is a compelling book where I would spend hours waiting anxiously trying to finish everything so I could read what would happen next. This story will hook in you fast and will not let go till you get to the end. It's a story that asks what really matters and it doesn't disappoint. It's a great read with a great mystery. And hey, I don't need to warn you about erotic sex, so you have no excuse not to read this book. What are you waiting for? Go! Get it now! I don't care how, maybe check the description, but get it! Just go! Go! Trust me! What about you, Internet? What's your opinion about Green Fairy? A special shout out to Nathan Hoop and Eric Garza for suggesting the book. Thank you for your support. If you have a book you would like me to review, let me know in the comments below. Next week, though, we are going on a trip to the towns that don't exist. DFTBA. Till next time, have a nice day.